Welcome to Out the Trunk with Jordan and Darius. This is our What's on Our Mind segment where we like to discuss what's on our mind, our musings, go around pop culture, what we've seen on the internet, different things like that. But before we get started, your younger siblings, you're the oldest, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
your
yeah.
younger
I'm the
siblings
oldest.
just celebrated a birthday. Do you want to age them or what do you want to do?
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, they're not old, so it's fine.
Okay, all right, fair enough. How old did
Yeah,
they
so
turn?
yeah, they turned 32.
Okay, okay. Happy
So happy birthday
32nd
to you guys,
birthday.
Brandon Brandon and Brianna slash Phil and Lil.
Okay.
Wishing you guys much success and blessings and all the happiness that your heart and your hands can hold. Yeah, so twins run my family. It's actually learned some uh family history recently. So my grandmother who passed was a twin, an eternal twin, and then my great grandfather had two sets of twins. So yeah, so shout out to the twins. Love you guys and keep moving forward.
Happy birthday to Brianna. Is it Brianna or Brianna?
Brianna.
Brianna and Brandon from Out the Trunk. So we're gonna move along. The starlet, is it starlet of
Yeah.
recent Sydney Sweeney just did an interview on with GQ, right? Um,
Yeah, I think it was GQ. Yeah, yeah.
and it went viral because I guess well, why did it go viral? Like,
Well, so there have been like she's basically been like breadcrumbing racism for the last few years. More or less. Like people have kind of found out stuff about her family and who they support and things of that nature. And then there was the American Eagle ad with the eugenics
timeout.
messaging. Well,
Jeans,
that's
jeans
what the
is not a
controversy was.
eugenics message. If you thought that was eugenics, you are mentally ill. You should go
Well,
seek
no, 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 no,
psychiatric
no.
help.
So I don't correct. Well, so it was viewed as that, or people said it could be viewed as that.
The mentally
Um,
ill, hyper
and
online, mentally ill people thought that she's an attractive woman. American Eagle makes jeans.
yeah,
She has good jeans. Jeans, jeans is a pun. If you read
yeah.
anything deeper into that, seek professional help. Something is wrong with you. Carry on.
Well, yeah. So, and I think there was one or two other things that happened, or people she would has been seen with or aligned herself with that have problematic views or history. I can't remember all the details, so I'm off the cuff. So sorry, guys. But and the interview basically was just kind of like, hey, so like people kind of thought that commercial could be seen as propaganda for blonde hair, blue eye, experiment type shit, basically, like now it's kind of a weird time to be joking around about like white people and having better genes, don't you think? Haha. And then she was like, no, like not literally, but she like that was just the energy she had like in the interview. And the interviewer was like, well, I mean, some people may view that as like could view it as like offensive, or maybe you like not you know, s- like, do you want to clear anything up type shit? And she was like, when I have something I want to say, I'll say something. And just like with a deadpan after that, just like, and everybody was just like, what? Like, people been kind of cutting her slack like for a long time. And this really popular TikToker, he was like, okay, she might actually be racist, guys. Like,
Um, if she wasn't such a bad actress, she would have made a fan of me out of this interview because you don't have to participate in these humiliation rituals. Like you don't have. I just love that she was like, "No, I'm not doing this. I'm not participating in your humiliation ritual. I'm not pretending this is 2018 Twitter where you can just like, no, I saw some guy was like, this is a PR disaster for her, and I'm like, dude, I just left the theater to see Bulgonia,
I
great
think her
movie.
acting is the PR disaster, actually.
She's not a great actress, but I was like, I just left the
No.
movie to see Bulgonia. Great movie, by the way.
Okay, yeah, I gotta
And
check
she
that out.
had two trailers in the movie, in addition
Yeah.
to the movie that's already currently in theaters. I was just like,
Which is
what?
bombing like crazy.
That's because she's not a good actress.
Yeah.
But it's like, what planet are you on where this is like she's like in embattled person? It's just it, there's a certain segment of like stuck in 2018 hyper online progressive that still thinks they
hmm
have cultural power. And I just love that she was just like, no. You don't run shit anymore. I'm not gonna participate in your
That
humiliation
shit did look
rituals.
nuts. I was
Like,
like,
she was like, nah, nah, not doing it.
that was crazy. I'm not gonna hold you. That shit was nuts.
She was just like, no, I don't want to do it.
Because it
And it was
wasn't.
just
Do I think like I don't do I think she wrote the ad? Obviously not. Like, do I think she knew how it was going to come across? Probably not. She don't seem like super bright to me.
I was gonna
Um,
say, that's the other thing. Does anyone think she's
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. I don't think she's calculated enough to even pull that off. Quite frankly, um, but it was like the interview was like jokingly like there's a scene from Succession. Have you seen that show?
No, I haven't.
Where one of the characters like there was a guy who was rumored to like they thought he was like had like some Nazi views or whatever. He's like, hey, so like there's a little bit of controversy around you. I just want to ask you a couple questions. He's like, all right, cool. He's like, so Mein Kampf, have you read it? And he's like, yeah, a couple times. And he's like, didn't pick up on everything the first time he read it. He's like, no, I just kind of wanted to reread it again. I'm a big history buff, you know. And he's like, no, he goes, I'm a big World War II buff. And he's like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, you know, a lot of people died. It was really a tragedy. He's like, he starts listening to people that died, and he's like, 2 million Poles, 8,000 Russians, and he's so such that whatever. And he's like, I think there's like one group you're kind of like forgetting. And he's like, I think you're a little short on the till there. Like, and it just, it was very much had the same energy as that
No,
scene.
so it's like I forget who the tweeter was. So I want to credit him, but he was just like the journalist was confused because in the journalist's world, this is normal. Like to just start conversations like, "Hey, before we get
Mhm.
started, would you like to denounce white supremacy?" Like that's
Yeah.
fucking weird. Like,
Yeah.
but in this like super progressive GQ writer world, she thought she
Uh-huh.
was doing Sydney Sweeney a favor. She was like, "I'm gonna give you a chance to clear it up."
Yeah, yeah,
Here
yeah.
we go. And Sydney was
And
just like, "No," and it was like she froze. She had no idea what
she
to
didn't
do.
know what she had no plan B. She had no like
She just, it was just so funny to me because it was just like, because in her world, all Trump voters are like pickup truck driving, like rednecks that they aren't real people. They're
Mhm,
characters on the TV screen.
mhm.
And she just couldn't, she thinks Sydney Sweeney is like a real person. So she's like, here's your chance to prove you're a real person. And Sydney was like, I'm just not participating in this. My question is, who are these rituals for?
Uh, I don't know. I mean,
When you see like these
I don't know. I mean,
land acknowledgments, and like before we get started,
yeah.
would you like to denounce white supremacy? And if she said, sure, I denounce it. It ain't for me as a
Who's
black
helped by
person.
that? Right, right,
Who is
right.
this
Yeah, it
for?
don't do shit. It don't do shit for. Good point, because they don't do shit for us.
Like,
And honestly, I wouldn't believe her anyway. So there's that.
it's just I just always want to know who this stuff is for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we know who it's for. I mean, I think it's for the it's for the liberal whites. Let's call it. I'm just
Yeah.
going. Okay, it's for the liberal whites. It's for the moderate whites. It's for the what I call the Birmingham letter whites. You know what I mean? It's so they can feel like they can posture and make it seem like they're actually an ally, when in theory they're probably more aligned with the people they're trying to grandstand against than they want to admit, in my opinion. And I'm not saying
Yeah.
all. I'm just saying
See,
some.
I don't even think that lady's moderate. I think she's one of
Oh no,
the
she
one
probably was, but
no, I think the interviewer is just like one of those super progressive people who she probably has very few like actual black friends, but she's like
right,
constantly talking
right,
about
correct. That's I
like
was about to say that.
racism and or white supremacy and such and so forth. And because that's all it is. It's not for me. Like, so if you
Hmm.
denounce white supremacy to this one white lady to this one white lady, that's just elite white signaling.
Right,
So like why I'm with her in that no, I'm not gonna
right,
participate in
correct,
this.
exactly. Yes.
I'm not gonna participate in this humiliation
Well,
rich white person
so,
signaling
but
exercise that doesn't actually help any minorities you purport to represent. Like, like it's silly.
I would be with you if I felt I'd be with you if I felt like that was why she was doing that. What that's I don't think that's the reason why she wasn't denouncing it. I think it was because she is on that side.
The evidence is what though? She used the pun in an ad, and
Uh,
she has Trump
there
voting
are
family members.
so she's do you know she's from the show Euphoria?
I never watched the
Um,
show, but I've heard of
well, so
it.
she's
Yeah,
on the show. She's
yeah.
one of the kind of breakout stars of the show. Obviously, it's Zendaya's show, so she's the big dog, and she's also a producer on the show. I've read like several reports that Zendaya does not do press, has like requested to not do press with her, things of that nature. That leads me to believe that there's some shit there that we don't know about, going on behind the scenes, or that she knows something that we don't. Again, I don't know. This is all speculation, is all breadcrumbing. So, but the interview, it was a crazy look. But it's a crazy time right now. So I don't think that it's abnormal for. I think she's from Iowa. I want to say Spokane is in Iowa, right?
No, Spokane's in
Or
Wyoming.
Washington. Wyoming. That's right,
Spokane,
Wyoming.
Wyoming. No,
Yeah,
Spokane's
close enough.
Washington. Spokane is Washington.
Is it? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah. So she's from a different part of the country, and I wouldn't be. I don't find it groundbreaking that a white person from that part of the country may have certain views.
I just
Um,
um I appreciate that she didn't participate in these silly rituals. I think people are just not used to the apolitical celebrity, and they're used to every celebrity and every group and every organization taking
mhm,
like a making a political stance. And
yeah,
I don't think, I mean, I don't know this woman, but I doubt she has any strong
right.
political beliefs at all. She's like, I'm fucking acting in a boxing movie. Why are you asking me to denounce white supremacy? Like what is that? First of all, honestly, I think it was a work. I think the GQ part, I think these celebrity interviews, they're pre-flighted. They know the questions
Right,
ahead of
right, right.
time.
Okay, yeah, you think it was
And
content.
yeah, of course, because GQ got what they want. Sydney Sweeney gets to remain apolitical. And the
Yeah.
journalist, I don't know why she signed up for that. She didn't get anything out of that. She went by. Also, poor, I feel bad for her because
Now people think she's a shitty journalist.
people think she's a shitty journalist, and like, I'm not. She's a decent looking woman, but next to a movie star, like the visual contrast of her like being confused next to Sydney Sweeney is just like a. It's just
What
not
do you
it.
mean?
Like she looks regular and she's next to a movie star,
Right.
and then she's making
Well, I
these
think
grimacing faces that go viral, and
oh,
it's like,
I think Sydney looks pretty regular.
I mean,
But yeah,
by
yeah.
movie star standards, I mean, sure, but I wouldn't kick her out of my bed, no. So I mean, I don't know. Like I do, I think she's a
Well,
bombshell,
she's
no,
no, no,
but
she's not a bomb. Yeah, she's no,
but
Jennifer Lawrence or whatever.
I ain't
In
in no
acting
damn
or
movies,
in
so
looks.
well, she's not a great
uh,
actress.
no,
I
no,
think
no, no,
that's
no.
the
She's
reason. Go
yeah.
ahead.
I'm about to say I think uh, her body is a big reason behind her success. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, that's really if you watch Euphoria, like her chest is out more than most cast members' faces are in that show. So
Well, that's never happened in
yeah,
Hollywood before. Um,
right. Oh no, for sure, that's a common thing. Yeah, of course.
no,
It's like her chest is equivalent to like Margot Robbie's ass in Suicide Squad.
yeah, that was like a main character. No,
Right.
I think people again have not adjusted to the cultural shift, and this like these celebrities aren't going to play
Hmm.
your games anymore. They don't have to anymore. They didn't. Their hearts probably weren't in it in the first place.
True.
And she just like she's probably just like, no, I'm apolitical. I
Yeah.
haven't, I don't campaign for either side. I'm not gonna participate in these rituals, and I'm here to promote a movie. Do you want to talk about the movie? I can do that.
Yeah.
You know,
So
like
so let me so let me ask you this. And so I know like a lot of people, different celebrities have come out and kind of tacitly shown their allegiances, I'll say, to one side
yeah,
or the other. And a big kind of Trojan horse for that was like the Charlie Kirk incident,
yeah.
whatever. Um, and we kind of learned that a lot of, at least I was shocked by some of the celebrities that were aligned with that. And so I want to ask you, do you think that she's in the minority or in the majority in terms of like what we perceive to be her actual views are?
Well, I mean, they Republicans won the election, so I mean, like,
No,
that's
no, I'm sorry.
not,
I mean, not, no, no, no. I don't mean in terms of like the country. I mean
yeah.
like Hollywood.
No,
Like a lot of celebrities and actors, they posture as, you know,
well, I will
allies,
say
liberals,
this.
Democrats, progressives, whatever the case may be. I just wanted to know what your thoughts, what you think about
Well,
that.
I would like to say that she's currently apolitical, and we
Well,
in these times, you people just assume that means Republican. She could just be apolitical. I know plenty of apolitical people. Yeah, I would. It wouldn't shock me if, first of all, you're selecting for rich people who generally don't
right.
like their taxes increased. Um, and Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if a lot of them just voted their taxes, if more than anything else. A lot of voters are self-interested, and what a lot of people don't understand or haven't adjusted for is Trump has been a political figure for a decade now. He's not a fringe
Right.
politician. He's not even like
No,
supporting him is no
unfortunately.
longer taboo. And so, like it would not shock me if a lot of Hollywood just was like, this guy's gonna keep my taxes
Yeah.
low. I don't really care if he's, you know, impolite or, you know, you know, gonna deport a bunch of people. I just want my taxes
Hmm.
low. I mean, that's what Dave Portnoy said. That's what it just so like there's a new centrist podcast out called Central Air, right? It's with Josh
Okay.
Farrell, Megan McArdle, and Ben Dreyfuss, just two centrist political writers, right?
Hmm.
And someone made the good point. They're like, we're the center, we're the normies of politics. Someone made the good point that all three of you guys are Kamala Harris
Hmm.
voters. How can you have a podcast purporting to be the center of American politics and not have one person that voted for Trump, whom won the election? Like by definition, you can't be a center normie podcast if you don't have if you're
Hmm.
branding this as the center of American politics. We're the normie podcast. We're not like the crazies over here, we're not the crazies over there. But all of you are Kamala voters, and she lost. So how can you be the center of American politics normie podcast when you don't have a single Trump voter on here? And it's like you that's what I mean. Like people
Hmm.
still have not adjusted for like these are people who claim to be normal centrist
Right.
people. We're not gonna Medicare for all. We're not doing that. We're not for open borders. Da 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 da. But you don't have a single,
Yeah.
not a single one of you voted for Trump, and it's like, well, you can't like that's how skewed it is, and that's kind of what that lady went through on the journalist is like
Yeah.
she's in such that bubble that like she just couldn't believe like being neutral is a Trump
Yeah. She was
supporter now.
shocked by. Yeah.
Like she
Yeah.
was just
Yeah. Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
thrown away because the only people she talks to are AOC supporters. Like she doesn't even understand. Like
Right.
there's a whole world where Trump is still a
Yeah.
taboo
It.
fringe figure, and just not denouncing him is in and of itself political to her.
Yeah. It reminded me of. Do you remember the SNL sketch about the 2016 election, the year Trump won it,
Yeah.
where it had Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle, and they're like at a watch party for the election, and they're kind of like, remember it started out like Hillary was winning, and then it started to go downhill, and then so the white members of the sketch, they were like, oh my gosh, what is going on? It's so shocking, and Chris and Dave were like, really, like and then they're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe we're in such a racist country, and they're like. Yeah. And it
So,
just kind of reminded me of it reminds me a lot of that where, we do tend to not isolate ourselves. We tend to surround ourselves in an echo chamber. Now we're minority, so I think for us it's more so a form of safety. But I think there are cons to that, obviously, given what's going on. But I mean, I struggle with, okay, it's like, what's the middle ground and how do we, not how do we coexist, but what's the difference between coexisting and engaging?
well, for starters, you cannot just assume everybody who voted for Trump is racist. For the simple fact that a lot of people voted for Biden and then voted for Trump. A lot of people just wanted the 2019 economy back. Inflation is just that bad.
Hmm.
And so obviously a healthy percentage of Trump supporters are you know, racist for lack of a better word.
White
But
hoods. Let's just call a spade a spade.
like you have to understand that a lot of people were Hillary Biden Trump supporters because they looked at it
Yeah.
and they're just like, okay, I'm sick of these humiliation rituals. I'm sick of these land acknowledgments. I'm sick of these
Hmm.
da 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 da. Everything's expensive. This
Yeah.
infrastructure bill, nothing got built from it. When Trump was president in 2019, the economy was objectively good until COVID came. So I'm gonna give him another shot. And swing voters are by definition idiosyncratic people because, like, as a lifelong Democrat, vote blue no matter who. It's bizarre to me that someone would just I don't like the price of eggs. I'm going to change who I vote for. But like those are the people who decide elections,
Right.
and they're not
Yeah.
they're not watching every press conference and so on and so forth. So it just goes back to the meat, like with that podcast that of the centrist podcast. Like you can't have, it's
Hmm.
not possible to have a centrist podcast without one person on it that voted for Trump because by definition, if you don't have anyone who voted for the
Right.
guy that won, you're not the center of American opinion on politics. Like that's just not how
Right.
that's not what that word means.
Yeah.
You know, like
True. That's true. Yeah.
like it's you can't. That's not what that
They're
word
just like
means.
rebranding liberalism,
You're
basically.
just a Democratic podcast. Like,
Yeah.
like you're just, so I
It's
think,
basically them just saying like we're the good ones, pretty much.
yeah, it's like we're not like the crazies over there. But you didn't call your
Right.
podcast not like the crazies over there. You said this is a centrism. It's actually, I thought the name was great. It's called Central Air. Um, but no, I mean, I don't know. I don't know Sydney Sweeney. I can't peer
Right.
into her soul. But the information given to me about her affiliations is flimsy
Hmm.
at best. Um, and I just think that you're not going to get far accusing every apolitical person of being MAGA. Like she has not, like obviously she could, yeah, and she could play the game and come out and say, no, I voted for Kamala, da 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 da. But if she
Right.
doesn't want to, I don't care. Um,
True.
she's just not participating in it. And, I don't, that stuff isn't for me. So I don't know who it's for. It's just
Right.
it's like the very definition of virtue signaling to me.
It was, but I think in this situation it was funny because I think she genuinely thought like
Yeah.
I think you could tell in her head she's like I'm assuming you were taken out of context.
Yeah.
It
She
almost
thought she was
like this is a
setting her up
typo.
to
Like
clear her
what you
name or
really mean?
something.
Yeah, she really thought like that was autocorrect, right? Like
Yeah.
that's really what she was basically saying. And Sydney was like, "No, I sent that text."
Yeah. She's like, nah.
That shit was crazy.
And then she was like hard reset, like her screen froze, and she was like,
Yeah,
well, some people da 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 da. And she was just like,
yeah,
yeah, well, when I feel like talking about that, I'll talk about that. But I'm dropping this movie, Christy.
yeah,
I almost went and saw it. But the Bulgania, I'm gonna go see everything Jesse Plemons does. I'm gonna pull up on
yeah.
him. So
By the way, I did not know he was with. I think he has a kid with Kirsten Dunst. They're like together. I think is she in the movie with him, or is there another
nah,
movie
it's
that they
Emma
made
Stone.
together?
It's Emma Stone.
Oh, okay, that's okay,
Um,
okay. Yeah, they apparently him and her did a movie together. I gotta check that out because I think she's phenomenal as well.
it's a good movie, man. It's look, it's a movie
Was it like a
goers
thriller?
movie. Haha, name. It's just three people in
R.I.P.
one.
to the original pod name.
Cheers. It's three people in a house just acting their asses off. So
Okay, okay. I fuck with
basically,
that. It means it means it has good dialogue.
yeah, Emma Stone is the CEO of a tech company, I think. And Jesse Plemons and his cousin are, well, his cousin is disabled, mentally disabled. I don't know the correct words. I know I
Okay,
can't say the R
right.
word, but you know.
Yeah.
And Jesse Plemons is a conspiracy theorist, and they kidnap her because they think she's an alien. And it's just like 4 days in the house of just dialogue where they have her held hostage. And so,
Okay. Hmm.
um, 2 hours. If you know, if your idea of a great movie is Fast and the Furious, probably not for you. But for the people, if
Yeah.
you're listening to this, you probably like movies. So go see it.
Yeah.
So I liked it though.
Yeah. Okay.
Want to talk about Kobe
Okay.
new?
Random.
Go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. Random ass thought because you brought up how we like can't say the R word. So I watch a lot of content and stuff during work to kind of get through the day because otherwise
Yeah.
I'm just in a silent room by myself typing and that just makes me feel like I'm in jail. And so I watch like movie reaction like mashups and compilations and stuff. I was watching the Tropic Thunder cuts and stuff. And it's so crazy watching that movie now because there's the scene where he goes, don't go full R word.
Yeah.
And like hearing it now, it almost feels like a cuss word. Like it feels like a slur compared to how we just used to throw that word around when we were young.
Well, so look, that one is making a slow comeback. That's part of like the cultural readjustment.
Right.
The language police lost that one, but for
Yeah,
me, the
yeah,
one
yeah.
that screams is listen to a rap song and hearing the F word and not fuck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah, like
ooh, that one like actually hurts my ear.
no, it's actually crazy. Yeah, there's a Wayne verse, a Millie where he's like
Yeah.
on some call me Dennis Rodman.
Look at me
And
now.
I'm like, damn, he just said that. No,
Look at me
no.
now.
Well, that one too.
Yeah.
That one too.
The word was ubiquitous. It was everywhere. It's not
It
about Lil
was.
Wayne.
It
Like
was everywhere. Yeah,
it was just like calling someone
50
stupid.
use it a
Like
50 use it a lot.
it's just,
Yeah.
language evolves
Yeah.
and,
Um,
if you go and watch a movie written, not even a movie, if you just listen to like it was not at
old
all
songs.
atypical for like white people amongst themselves to call us Negroes or colored people. And that wasn't
Right,
even
right,
like a
right.
slur. That was just
It's in this movie we're about to do.
that's like calling people black,
Yeah.
like it was like, and so
Hmm.
they knew the N word was bad, but it took a while for us to add colored
Right,
people
right.
and Negro to the lexicon of bad words. And,
Yeah.
took a while for us to get that F word into the lexicon of bad words.
No,
So,
it did. And
and
it's
look at
just
me
funny
now, it's
because
not that old. So,
no, it's like what, 10, 11, 12 years old, maybe? Like, yeah.
but it
I was
goes
in college when
back
that song came out.
to land the plane on the original conversation about like the cultural norms. I think people like us who are left of center, you're a bit more left than me, but just like
Yeah.
underestimate just how much the cultural norms have changed since I would say 2016.
Yeah.
And there's been a bit of a clawback from that, and a lot of people are still
Hmm.
stuck in the old days
Yeah.
where they haven't adjusted for the clawback. Because I if Sydney Sweeney does that interview in 2018, there's actual social consequences for it. But the culture has shifted a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
bit. And I think it's shifted for the good. This whole thing, like, if she actually says something insane, if she actually if she spoke at the RNC or something, okay, I'd hear you out. But one,
Hmm.
again, the
Yeah.
jeans thing, seek help. Uh, her she has some family members that donated
My
to
only complaint, but
Republicans. I mean, okay, what white
yeah,
person doesn't? Like, like
right. But
her
I
and
say, yeah, if
Zendaya didn't
you,
get along. I need more than this. I just need a little more than this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, my only complaint about the American Eagle ad was having a girl with no ass be the face of a jeans commercial. Doesn't really make sense to me, but whatever.
I think that's a two
Um,
Americas
but
thing.
yeah,
We could bring Keller on here and
you
he'd
know
be like,
what?
"No, that's an
You're
ass."
right.
It's a two Americas thing.
You know what? He's an ass man from the South. I actually think he would I think he would be on our side with that. But we'll have to bring that up Friday at the
We'll
bar.
table that one for later.
Um, yeah, we'll table that
Kobe
one.
Bryant,
We'll put it to a vote.
starring artist.
Yes, 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 yes. Um, did you get a chance to watch the TikTok I sent you?
I did. And before you start, let me just, for content creators, brevity. That thing was 2 minutes and
Yes,
40
yeah, it
seconds.
was.
Could have been 90 seconds.
Yeah,
An editor once told me, never take 100 words when you can say the same thing in 30 words. He was a bit more
right.
eloquent than that. So
Yeah,
brevity, it is a key to good content. So
I
I said it
agree.
after we spent 30 minutes on Sydney Sweeney. But carry on.
That's okay. I saw Joe Budden talk about her titties for 20 minutes on his podcast. So, and that's literally what he did. That's not even an exaggeration. But
I'll take your word for it.
yeah, so I didn't listen to it. I saw it and anyway. Um, yeah, so there was a creator on TikTok. He posted a video and he was talking about the concept of a starving artist versus a two forms of perfectionist. There's the starving artist, and then there's kind of the Kobe Bryant type, where he was kind of saying the starving artist is one who you maybe will see one of their paintings, or they never will really finish a painting or finish a masterpiece, quote unquote, because they're so busy tweaking and making edits and you know going over it again and again and starting from scratch and things of that nature. Versus whereas there's a famous story of Kobe Bryant working on the same shot in the same spot on the floor for like an hour, you know. Whereas obviously they're both levels of obsessiveness, but one is actually it's focusing on the reps and the result as opposed to the perfection of the rep. And I thought that was a really interesting conversation, especially considering like, the content space and a lot of the creatives that I know, we talk about a lot about like paralysis by analysis and being perfectionists and how that can bleed into like procrastination and writer's block, things of that nature. So I thought that was it sets the table for an interesting conversation. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
So my first thought was the starving artist, is that perfectionism or is that fear of failure? Because once you put your art
We,
into the world, it's
yeah,
no longer yours.
great question.
Um,
Correct.
it's and you can't. you lose control. I mean, how long did it take
Correct.
for me to like let these podcasters go into the real world? We
Yeah,
recorded for 3 months
3 months.
because it took me a while to get used to not have, because once it's gone, it's gone. And
Yep.
I'm a pretty private person, and it's scary. It really is.
Yeah.
And so I think when someone says they're a starving artist, they're a perfectionist, that is a a very kind, it's a very rosy way to paint them, saying they have a fear of failure. And so
Yeah. Absolutely.
so
Same thing with procrastination.
yeah, because especially, I mean, it depends on the task, but you know,
Right.
this it's hard to something that you cherish and you worked with for hours and hours, you put it into the world, and like it's no longer yours, and
Yeah.
what people say about it, what people do with it, how many people engage with it is totally out of your control. And all of the feedback is valuable. Well, not all, but most of it, good and the bad, will be valuable. And, are you like dealing with what comes with that is not easy.
Yes.
Bomani Jones once said Kobe Bryant's the mo thing he admired the most about Kobe Bryant was that he just did not care about looking bad. Like Kobe Bryant released a rap
No.
song and he was a god awful rapper. And he was just like, Bomani was like, the thing I admire the most is that he just doesn't care. That if he looks like he's just going to try it.
Hmm.
He's just that confident. Like
Yeah.
I mean, he was like an NBA player. He didn't have to do this. He just, I like to rap, so I'm gonna do it. And
Yeah.
so that's one thing Kobe had. He had no fear of failure. It helps that he achieved a lot of success at a very young age. But
True.
no, I just think the perfectionism can be just a way, a different word, a synonym for fear of failure. So, what do you
Yeah.
think about
Yeah,
it?
I definitely agree. Yeah, I thought the same thing you thought. Made me think about our process. Because I remember thinking like, I know for me, this is my second time having a podcast, but also, me being a poet and performing and stuff like that. Like, I know the struggles of, I know I'm very familiar with the fear of failure and the fear of putting your shit out there and putting yourself out there just to people to be critiqued or made fun of or look stupid or look cringe or whatever, whatever people want to call it, whatever. Um, I remember like me, even with our process of like us like rehearsing for 3 months, basically, like I found that process it was important, but I found it frustrating because I was like, we need to like just say fuck it and put it out because there's no such thing as a perfect time to start. There's never a perfect time or a sign to just to do the thing, whatever the thing is that you want to do.
But to be
My
fair, a lot of that
mentality is
stuff
more so
was
the sooner
bad.
you.
Um,
Oh yeah, it was horrible. Yes,
like, I think
but
I
that's
might have
okay though
saved
because
us for
everybody
some
has bad
bad
reps.
content being on the internet.
That's fair. I went back and looked at some of those. The footage was horrible because our our equipment was not great, and
Yeah.
all that stuff. It looked like we were in the dark room
Yeah, it
and being held
just
hostage.
and we didn't have any flow to the show. It was just,
Yeah, it
what
was
do you
just
think?
rambling
And then
about
you like,
our notes.
yeah, we like spoil it and then talk about something in the beginning. It was,
Yep,
you'd be
true.
surprised though. A lot of highly produced, expensive podcasts go through months of testing before they release it because, like,
Mhm.
you know, you only hear the first episode. They're not that polished at first. Trust me. They've run through it
Right,
a ton.
correct. And even I know, like for me, like I do that a lot. Like with my writing, like I have a million notes in my phone, and maybe half of those are unfinished poems because I was like, this doesn't feel like great art to me, or this doesn't feel like a masterpiece, or it doesn't feel perfect, or like the greatest poem that ever was. You know what I mean? And not that you set out to write to make every poem the best poem ever, but you want to make it the best piece you can possibly make it. And so I studied like a lot of creatives and a lot of songwriters because that's the kind of the closest craft to poetry in terms of like the mainstream creative space.
Yeah.
And I remember watching an interview of John Mayer, and he said, they asked him about writer's. Someone asked him about writer's block, and he said, writer's block is really just is it's when the editor in you is in conflict with the writer in you. Because you're supposed to write and then edit, but writer's block comes when you're writing, trying to edit while you're writing. So you're stopping yourself from laying the next track on the railroad when and it's the train's never going to the train's never going to get anywhere because you won't give it anywhere to go, so to speak.
That's something I had to learn
It's
as a
like I remember this
writer.
famous quote they say.
Go ahead.
Mhm.
We're
Yeah, there's like a famous quote that they say, write drunk, edit sober.
So let me ask you this. Do you think the fact that they record everything sort of stifles your creativity?
Um, it doesn't stifle my creativity because whatever poem I do is creative. There, I think sometimes if I think too much about like being on stage, and that may change the poem that I decide to do that night.
Okay.
That has definitely happened for sure. Now, I mean, they record it, but it's up to me to like if I want to get the footage or use the footage or post it. They don't just post anybody's um like poems without, their consent or anything. So that's never really an issue. Um, but I mean, I do think like sometimes you can I at least I've fallen into the habit of like thinking about the stage while I'm writing, which can impact the writing, and then you kind of got to like stop yourself and be like, wait, no, that's if I'm editing like that, I'm doing it out of fear, not out of like grammar or creativity or shit like that, then I'm not telling the truth anymore, and that defeats the whole purpose of the art form. So there's something I try to make sure to like when I write poems now, I just like say like, don't worry about open mic, don't worry about Wednesdays, don't worry about whatever stage I'm going to be performing at. Let me just write this poem, and then I'll go from there in terms of if I choose to perform it or not, or excuse me, if I decide to make any other alterations, it'll just be based on like making the poem better, not based on uh sharing less of myself, if that makes sense.
All right, let me ask you this. Do you think the experience of going to a club is made better or worse by people recording?
Mm. Definitely made worse.
Okay. So wouldn't that same logic apply to open mics?
uh No, because when you're on stage, like you have to get up on stage. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like no one's recording you sitting down snapping. No one's recording
Right.
you watching the poem. You know what I mean? Like you're on stage to not to be seen, but you're going to be seen on stage. So it's not like you're not going to be surprised if someone's recording if someone wants to record part of your piece, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
I
Um,
think that obviously you need to know how you perform. Like you said, it's like watching film.
right.
But I
Yeah.
do think the fact that you get up there and you just see
Yeah.
phones. Um, I mean, I would love to have a poet on from like the 90s and for him to
Yeah.
explain the differences between
Yeah.
um
That's true too, because that's all I know. So I don't
right.
have anything to compare it to. Um,
I mean, it's
I
impossible for me to prove a negative because I've never been to one without cell phones everywhere, but I can't
right.
imagine that it's had a net positive effect.
That's fair. Um, I will say the one good thing is the lights are so bright you actually can't see anybody.
Yeah.
Honestly, like past second row, you can't see shit. So
Well,
there's that. But I will say I did do an open mic a couple months ago that didn't have cameras. That
yeah.
they weren't like recording everything, and it was a mini feature. So I had like maybe I think I had like a 10 to 15 minute set, and it did feel different.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't focused on, I'm focused on the performance element, but I'm not so much focused on like when you're on stage at a certain open mic night that's recording, it's almost like you're acting. So
Yeah.
you're focused on your angle. So maybe your body makes a gesture you wouldn't normally make. So say I want to do like this. Well, if the camera is right here, then I got to do it's
Yeah.
just simple shit like that. Um, so I wasn't so much focused on like my range of motion and things of that nature. And it was a new room full of new people, so I could really kind of do anything because you're not so much uh I'm not typecasted, but
Yeah.
there's certain shit people want to hear from you, and you kind of want to give the audience what they want. So it's more so an expression as opposed to just being a performance, if that makes sense.
It does. I just think like anything else, the introduction of smartphones changed what we're selecting for. And
Yeah,
so I think it's undoubtedly made the club worse. It's made me more uncomfortable in the club. I fucking hate being recorded.
yeah,
And so like, I people by now know me and they don't record me, but like I remember just telling some people, get the camera out of my face. Like, will you stop? Like, dude, I remember it was like some family event and I was playing with my nieces, and my mom was just like recording the whole thing. And I was like, can we just be? Will you please stop fucking recording
yeah,
me? I didn't curse, but
yeah,
I was like,
yeah. Right.
can I just like enjoy this moment doing some silly dance with my nieces without being, I'm not a celebrity. Like, why are you
Yeah.
recording me? Like, like I didn't, you're not TMZ and I'm not a celebrity. can I
Yeah.
just be with my family without being, like obviously some footage is important and
Yeah,
should
for
take
sure.
pictures and things like that, but I just wonder, you know, what the open mics were like before there was
Hmm.
permanent footage of everything that happened there. So,
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Because I know um like this weekend we celebrated my siblings for their birthday, so we went out to dinner Friday. That was like a small family thing, and then Saturday, no, not Saturday, Sunday we went to my cousin's pastoral anniversary, and then we all surprised the twins. We had pretty much the whole family come to dinner at a restaurant. There's like 25 of us in a room. And and obviously everybody had their phones out because we don't get together very often. So you're taking pictures and videos and stuff, and it's different because it's a birthday. But I get you because I'm very much like if I'm at a nice restaurant, I'll take a picture of maybe the food, something like that. But for the most part, my phone, I'm not recording a whole lot or anything like that. But yeah, I think content creation is great because I think it's important to have the memories.
yeah.
But I think it gets to a point where if you're just always living through your phone, you're not in the moment. You're not actually connected to the people that you're documenting in the space and time.
Yeah, like I'm not a Luddite. I embrace the technology and things like that, but we did lose something and we started selecting for
Yeah.
something different. So, public proposals, are you a yes or a no?
Uh, like how public at a game or at like a restaurant
Fair.
or just in general? Me
Very public,
honestly,
like
okay,
concert,
yeah,
game, you know, just very public. Let's say
yeah,
30 or more people in attendance.
30 or more. Oh, no, I'm not in favor of that. That to me, that's just well, for one, I just don't find that to be very romantic,
Yeah.
or intimate in any way. Like, I mean, obviously you want somebody like recording it if you can do it without her knowing. Um, but like, yeah, no, I'm not really big fan of that because you don't really get to do like the speech or I've
Yeah.
never proposed, but I'd assume you want to have a speech or have something prepared or just speak from the heart about what this person means to you and why you want to spend the rest of your life with them, things of that nature.
I mean, obviously you should do what she wants, but I've
Right,
often
right.
found that public proposals are more for him than her.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
hate a wedding proposal, whatever, where it feels like the groom is just as like the
Right.
main character as the bride.
Yeah.
Obviously it's your wedding too, this, that, and the third, but like,
Yeah.
come on, man. But often like
And what
the
if she wants to say no? Like I feel like it's almost like a hostage situation. Like they can't
it's
say no.
that's my other point. It was like it's often a manipulation tactic because you know
Yeah.
that like it's often dudes in a rocky situation. Um, it's like I got this because I got this idea because I saw a tweet and
Hmm.
there was a dancer for some NBA team and she goes out, she does a routine, and the
Hmm.
music switches to Bruno Mars's "Marry You." And she
Yeah.
doesn't know what's going on. And she's all off beat and shit because they didn't practice for that. And then her fiance comes out and proposes. And
Yeah.
like she was like, yeah, I said yes because that was insane, but the marriage was a disaster because we didn't really like each other in the first place. It's like, oh yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense.
well, shit.
Uh, um, it's like my
Yeah,
old saying, like the more words on the anniversary post, the more
the
rockier the
worst the marriage
relationship.
is. Yeah, if you see more than like a paragraph,
Yeah.
yeah, they're on the
That happy
rocks.
anniversary, babe. I love you and the kids. That relationship is rock solid. They're going to die
Yeah,
together. That
yeah.
3, 4 paragraphs where,
When they hit through the ups and downs,
oh man, she
you
loves
know
me
it's
through
over.
everything. She's been
Yeah.
there. I wouldn't
Thank you
be.
for sticking by me.
Oh God, the more words in that post, the rockier that relationship.
No, that's a
Uh,
fact. I remember I made a happy birthday post for a girl I was with one time a couple years back, and I didn't. And now, looking back now, I get why she had an issue with it, but it was very simple. It was like, Happy Valentine's Day or Happy Birthday, whatever. Yeah, Happy Valentine's Day, like, thanks for sticking around or something like that. It's supposed to be like something like simple and sweet. And then looking back now, I realized how that makes her look or how that
yeah.
sounds. And she had an issue with it. And I was like, I don't get it. Like, but now I was like 26, 27 at the time, I'm much older, more mature now. But yeah, I was like, I don't get it. But now it looks like on some like Thanks for like
Yeah.
taking me back for cheating type
Yeah,
shit,
pretty
which
much. Pretty
obviously didn't
much.
happen, but that's what that sounds like.
I mean, sticking around is like, yeah. I'm really terrible to you, but you're still here, and I love you for
Right,
that.
thank you for being. It's like thank you for being stupid and insecure. I really appreciate the way you don't love yourself.
You want to talk about some sports, man?
Yeah.
All right, let's cut here. Um, I got the footage from the first pound, so it'll
Okay,
be
perfect.
pretty
Because that
easy
was
to
good
stitch
shit.
together. So yeah. Anyways, so ready?
Yeah.
All right, and a three and a two and a one. Welcome to Out the Trunk with Jordan and Darius. This is our sports segment. We're gonna go around a couple of leagues here, but we want to start with, but we didn't introduce ourselves in the
Yeah, but
first
I
one
say,
either.
yep.
Yeah, so in the other one either. So and a three and a two and a one. Welcome to Out the Trunk with Jordan and Darius. My name is Darius. That's D's all up in your area on all socials.
And I'm Jordy B. Writing. That's well, nope. My name is Jordan. That's Jordy B. Writing on all socials.
You can call him Jordy B right now. He'll answer to it,
Yes, yeah, that's my stage name. Yeah. For
um,
poetry, just poetry. I don't do anything else on stages. Yeah, just want to
all right.
fix that.
We could add it to the link tree. Um,